Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien on the morning of Saturday, January 28th, 2023. Stand by for commentary. Well, today's commentary is on yesterday. They released the video from Mr. Mills' dilemma in Memphis and the way the police officers acted. And they're missing the point again. You guys are like the American health system is when you go to the ER today. If you ever been to the emergency room in an American hospital in the last 6 months, you know what I mean. They wheel you in there. If you are by ambulance, you get right over there, you get checked in, and oh well, we'll check you out here. We got a room for you, yeah. If you walk in, well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours later, you're in, and they check you for the symptoms that you give them. Okay. Unlike, Panama, where the doctors will check you not only for what you're feeling, but for other things to see what else is wrong with you. Over here, oh, that costs too much money. We can't do that. We only check for what you report to us that your pain is. Well, that's the problem here in Memphis to a certain degree. You got an American paradox. And the American paradox is you treat the symptoms, not the cause. So I'll give you a for instance here. If you take Mr. Mills and put him into a medical analogy, you still don't know the cause of death because the coroner hasn't released it yet. Okay. So you're treating the symptoms. Yeah. Okay. So here, say Mr. Mills is the symptom, and it's equivalent to a bleeding wound. So the blood's coming out of the wound and you're treating it there. Yeah, okay, let me have a Band-Aid here and we'll put it on there, stop the blood, put coagulants in there to make sure that the blood stops. And yeah, you do stop the blood, but it's still bleeding inside somewhere. Yeah. And if you notice, that's what happened to poor Mr. Mills. You see how long he stood there before an ambulance actually came or somebody came to his aid and all those people standing around? That's the American paradox. Okay. And the American paradox is you're treating the symptom and not the cause. And the cause is why? Well, he was black, but you can't blame the whites this time because the guys were black, right? So you're going to say, well, they were acting on the white system that they tell them that this is the way you got to react to blacks, even though you're blacks. So they're pushing us on ourselves. That is the wrong way of dealing with this. And the mother of Mr. Mills was right on one thing. She is a mother, yes, and she has all the right to say what she did, and she said the right things. Especially when she told those 5 officers that did this, and the other officers that were standing around there that haven't been charged with anything yet, and I would have charged them if I were her. And there were some white officers there, there were some blacks there, but I would have still charged everybody equally. And like she told those 5 black officers, you have shamed our blacks. Well, Mrs. Mills, black on black crime is long been a history. Same as white on white. It's not just you, okay? But yeah, they shamed their black heritage here. That I can agree with you there. But it's a long standing. I mean, Asians on Asians. Hey, look at the Japanese on Asians during World War II and before that. They conquered Korea in 1910. It goes, every single pigmentation on this planet is guilty of that. But when you said you shamed our white people, and I mean the black people, and they did, they shamed them. Because you're supposed to be looking for a better way of life. And you're looking for a human culture, which you haven't even developed yet. And here you had George Floyd, Mr. Amory from Georgia. Remember him? Where the guys use him as going after a deer or something like that on the truck. And the other guys, and now Mr. Mills here. And you haven't asked a question. Where is the white guy? Where is the Asian guy? Where is the African American? And stop saying your soapbox and get there and say, we have to eliminate being black. We have to eliminate being white. We have to eliminate being Asian. Do we eliminate our history? No. We are just pigmentations of a human race. I haven't seen anybody say that. And sit down and talk. We got to develop a human culture. The closest one I've seen, other than Mrs. Mills trying to say it, without getting herself in trouble with her own group, like the NAACP, is Martin Luther King. And everybody's forgot about him, even you black Americans, you African Americans, you forgot about him. You put him in your rearview mirror a long time ago. And he had a dream because when he was 6 years old, he had two friends that were white, and he went over there and see why they would play with him, and the mother would tell him, oh, they're not here. And he says, well, I just saw them come in. And then she told him the truth. That you are black and we are white and we cannot associate with you. And like Mr. King said, from that time forward, I have a dream. And he expressed that dream in 1963, which neither whites, blacks, Asians, Latins, or anybody listens to that. Until you do, you're destined for extinction. I'm sorry, Mrs. Mills. I wish I had a better prognostication for you. But your son is never going to get justice because the people here don't want justice. They just want to sweep it under the rug, as in Mr. Floyd's case, put the people in prison that did this, but sanction it anyway. This is your commentary for today. This is your favorite alien. And this is why, Mrs. Mills, the human race, whether you're black, white, Asian, Latin, whatever you are, became extinct because of your stupid way of thinking. Good day.